Okay, it's 7:10 already. Good evening, everyone. I'm Omomi by name. For those that know me, you know I'm your host to the most. And today we are having another series for the month of October. We have been having this for a while now, and I feel so glad to be here again. By October of this year, like from January till October, that's a whole lot. That's 10 months gone from this year of the Digital Ed series, and it has always been impactful. And tonight again, we're about to have a very wonderful session to impact everyone. I'm very sure it's not like that's one thing I love about the Digital Ed series. It's not always about only the topic we want to talk about or only the niche that we want to talk about. It's always meant for everyone. Like everybody is always going to benefit from it. And that's one thing I really love about Digital Ed series. If you have never attended this series in any of the months, like in any of the past months, kindly add this to your calendar that every last Thursday of the month you have a series you need to like attend virtually because it's a series that uplifts your soul and guide your career path, no matter your niche, no matter the topic that you see there. If you are seeing cybersecurity, it doesn't mean that whatever will be said for cyber security enthusiast will not be useful for a developer, will not be useful for an entrepreneur, will not be useful for a social media manager, will not be useful for anybody. Like, do you understand? So that's one of the reasons why you should add digital series to your calendar. And this night, whenever I talk like that, you know that I'm about to introduce the speaker, and as we do it, which is the culture for the Digital series, whenever the speaker is about to come on board, we send in our emojis. We send in our emojis. So I need to use the emoji to welcome the speaker as I introduce him. Okay, I can see the emojis flying about now. So we have a fabulous speaker who goes by the name Mr. Ahmed Olajide. He's a co-founder of Eybrids and cybersecurity analyst. Hey, that's to tell you that the speaker we have on board this month again is an expert, like we have always done. Like every speaker is always an expert. Every speaker that is brought on board here is always someone that has the experience, and experience is definitely the best teacher. I believe we all agree. So I need to continue sending the emoji as we welcome our awesome speaker that is going to be enlightening us today on how to understand the core cybersecurity concepts, how to get the right certifications, how to build an on-skill through projects, and how to enter the cybersecurity job market. You see, this is what I talk about. This is what I say about the digital series. Everybody is finding a way to enter the job market. It's not only cybersecurity, guys. Do you understand? So as long as you are here, you are going to benefit from it. You don't have to even be part of the niche before you even benefit from the series. So let's jam our hands together through our emojis and welcome Mr. Ahmed Olajide, a cybersecurity analyst. You're welcome, sir. I'll be handing over the mic to you. Welcome on board once again.
Thank you very much. Among me, am I right? Yeah, thank
Yes,
you
you
for the
are.
wonderful introduction. Thank you. If you can hear me, and just go to the chat section, type I. Can you hear me? If I'm audible enough, just go to the chat section and type I. Okay, perfect. Adefemi, Adewumi, thank you. Among thank you very much. Okay, so it means I'm audible enough. Esther, thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you again. Thank you once again, Among for the introduction, the wonderful introduction. I really appreciate that. And I just want you to know that if you are here tonight, congratulations to you, because after this webinar, after this series, I will be sharing with you a lot of resources, right? For those that have IT experience, congratulations. And for those that really do not have IT experience whatsoever, again, congratulations to you, because the purpose of this webinar tonight is for both that have the experience and those that really do not have the experience. I'll be sharing tips, right? What you need to look out for if you don't have any IT experience whatsoever. For now, I will kind of like just turn on my camera and I will share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen? Please, I need someone to talk. Please, can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we
Yes,
can.
please.
All right. Perfect. Thank you very much. So, the title of today's series is "No Experience, No Problem," which means even if you don't have experience whatsoever, don't worry about it. We got you covered. I'll take you through the steps on what you need to look out for, how you can gain hands-on experience to get, to definitely land a cybersecurity job role out there. The learning outcomes for today is number one, we'll be understanding the core concept of cybersecurity, and we'll be talking about key certification to kickstart your career. Why you really do not need certifications to kickstart your career. One thing is if you have a first degree, you have bachelor's degree, you have HND, you are good to go. Now, certification does not really determine, yes, you we get that job, right? But it's just like a key to, when recruiters kind of like review your CV, when they see that, okay, you have certification, it's more like a proof to show that, yeah, you really have hands-on experience in this aspect, this part. Certification is not important to land that the entry level roles. You really do not need certification. Once you have that first degree, for example, you're a you have bachelor's degree in mathematics, you have bachelor's degree in computer science. Now, for somebody that have bachelor's degree in non-science related roles like non-IT related degrees like mathematics, computer science, physics, the engineering roles, maybe those that have degrees in like horticulture, right? Now it's kind of be very hard for you out there because it shows that you really do not have that IT experience. But don't worry, there are things you can do to show the HR or to show your employee that, yeah, your employer rather, that you have that skills to land the role. Now, the next thing we'll be talking about developing practical skills through self-learning labs. Don't worry, I will share you resources where you can do self-learning labs, projects, put those projects on your CV and talk about it during your interview. Now, I'll tell you how to navigate the cybersecurity job market step by steps, things you need to do. If you have certifications, fine. If you don't have, fine. If you have portfolios, I would show you how to design a better portfolio to show recruiters out there. And we'll definitely be talking about different career paths in cybersecurity. Now, this is a disclaimer, and I will just read this out aloud. I just want you to understand that the information provided in this material here is just for educational purpose only. And I repeat, I do not take responsibility or liability for any misuse of information provided in this guide. Now, I need to clear the air because there are a lot of misconceptions out there. Um, I need to kind of like make you understand the difference between information security and cyber security. Yes, while we have a lot of job roles that say information security analyst, some will tell you cyber security analyst, some will say information security engineer. Those are separate roles. Now, the difference between information security and cyber security is that information security is a broader concept that kind of focuses on protecting all forms of information, right? Whether digital or physical, it involves perfecting as much as handling paper, physical paper to someone, right? So that is information security. It's all about everything. It's all about protecting verbal communications as well. That is information security. Now, cyber security is kind of coined from information security. And we have cyber security is also kind of broad, and it's basically focuses on protecting systems, right? Protecting networks, protecting data, cyber basically, and also make sure we are protecting organizations from external attack like phishing, like hacking, like malware, right? We have a lot of threat actors are there, like the Lockbit guys, like the Ryuk guys, trying to have to hack into companies' organization, trying to steal their data online, and that is where cybersecurity comes, right? And in cybersecurity, there are like key concepts you need to learn every day of your life, on the job, during an interview. You will be talking about these three things, these three concepts. One, you'll be talking about threats. Now, what is a threat? A threat is anything that could cause harm to you, anything that could cause harm to an organizations, right? As a company, you are keeping clients informations. So let me use a bank, GTB Bank, as an example. You They have your informations at hand, right? They have your name, they have your card, credit card, or your debit card details. They have almost everything about you. So these guys out there are trying to protect your information. Now the threat is someone external, a threat actor trying to steal those informations from them. Would you be happy about it? No. So threat again could be internal and it could be external. It could be internal, probably employees that are maybe disgruntled employees, or external threat actors, hackers, bad guys trying to destroy the company. And it could also be intentional or unintentional. For example, tsunami can happen. Probably or probably fire. What is it called? A tsunami. Yes, tsunami could happen. Probably in an availability center where we have a lot of resources right there. That is threat on its own. Now, vulnerability. Vulnerability is like a weakness or flaw in the system, processes, or organizations that could exploit the threat. Now, vulnerability is like a loophole. You leaving your door unlocked over the night. Your door is unlocked, you left it open, and you go to bed. That is vulnerability. And the threat is somebody coming in, a threat actor, right? Somebody trying to come in to steal your information, to steal everything in your room, to steal your laptop. That is the threat. Vulnerability is you leaving your door unlocked. And the risk involved is that you could lose your life. You would lose valuable things. That is the risk involved. So all through your career in cybersecurity, you have to understand these three concepts. And why cybersecurity, right? Number one, cybersecurity, we have wide range of career paths from security operation centers. We have the GRC. Even under GRC, we have different career paths. For security operations center, we have a lot of career paths under security operations center. And for maybe cloud security as well, we have a lot of career paths in in cloud security, right? So cybersecurity has a wide range of career paths, and that is the sweetest thing, because every organization out there are trying to protect one thing or the other. Even as individuals, you are trying to protect somebody having access to your Instagram, right? You're trying to protect somebody having access to your Twitter account, as well as your WhatsApp, your social media platforms. Everybody is trying to protect something valuable to them. And that is why cybersecurity is important. You cannot get it wrong in cybersecurity. You cannot get it wrong in cybersecurity. Another thing is high earning potential, right? Constant innovations, job stability. You can decide that, yeah, I don't want to be in the blue team, I want to go to the red team. You can later decide you want to, kind of move from the red team to maybe digital forensics and incident response. Now, opportunities for remote work. You don't need to be on the site. You can always work remotely. Skills that can transfer globally. Everybody wants to protect something. In Russia, United Kingdom, everywhere. In Nigeria, everybody is protecting something. Every organization needs something they are protecting. So it's actually a skill that, even if your location does not really matter, you can be in Nigeria and be working remotely with a company in the US or in the United Kingdom and be making your money, right? So continuous learning, and as well as impactful career. And that brings me to this meme right here, this picture that you can see on my slide. um Before you can land this role, right, you need to kind of understand what you are protecting. Now, I'm trying to protect something, but I don't have the understanding of what I'm protecting. Now, if I want to have a bodyguard, now a bodyguard must understand me, must understand my vulnerability, must understand, where I go, what I eat. A bodyguard must be able to kind of like, protect me. That is why you see these celebrities going out with bodyguard up and down, because they need to be protected. So you need to first understand who you what you are protecting, and you need to see. That is why it's right up there. It says you can't protect what you don't know, one, and you can't attack what you don't know. See this guy here, the first picture. I want to work in cyber. You want to work in cyber, but you don't understand networking fundamental. You want to work in cyber, but you don't understand system fundamentals, like your laptop itself. Those are fundamentals of these are things you need to understand. You don't understand these things and you want to just jump, leave those steps and enter into cybersecurity, it should be kind of very hard for you. Now, say the other guy here, you want to hack, but you don't understand computer basics, you don't understand networking basics, you don't understand Linux basics. You will not see an hacker using Windows to hack. Never. They use Linux operating system to do some of these hacking, creating payloads, because most of these tools are on Linux operating systems like Kali Linux. So you need to have this basic understanding. And one thing is, all these things, I repeat, all these things are free online. You can learn all of it for free online. The only thing you need to do is just to be deliberate about it. Yes, you need to be very, very deliberate about it and be consistent. Okay, so this is like a cybersecurity career roadmap that talks about different roadmap in cybersecurity, like a high level roadmap in cybersecurity. While the next slides, I'll be talking more about, I'll be talking more in depth about each of these roadmap here, this part here. Now, this one here, which is the red team, these are the guys that are kind of like they simulate attack, right? Like Facebook now, right? So these are guys that like, let us check the vulnerabilities in Facebook applications. They kind of like try to hack into the system. Those are red teamer. They simulate attack. They think like how an attacker would think, how an hacker would think. They think like that. They check for vulnerabilities in your code. They check for vulnerabilities in your web applications. They do both mobile penetration testing, Android, iOS, everything. They also do security research, right? So these are the red team. Now, we have the cloud security guys. These are the guys that kind of like protect your informations in the cloud out there. And every cybersecurity person must understand this. If not cloud security, at least you must understand cloud computing. And I'll be talking more about that in the later slides. Now, the GRC, these are the guys that are more like, making sure you comply with industry standards, because if you are not complying to industry standards, you would definitely be fined, right? So we have a lot of frameworks out there, like there is 27,001 in the ISMS, Information Security Management System, 27,001. Just kind of like show customers that, yeah, we we are trustworthy. We've done everything. We've implemented our security controls. You can trust your informations with us. So these GRC guys are like the guys that make sure that, yes, you comply with government standards and frameworks. And then now these blue team guys, for somebody that really do not have experience in cybersecurity at all, I will advise you start from here. And this is me right here. This is blue team. A lot of people that really do not have experience in cybersecurity start here. And when you have the understanding of what you are perfecting, because you've kind of like, blue team are like guys that are fighting the hackers, right? You are fighting somebody trying to penetrate into your system. You would at a point understand how this guy think. Then from there, you can now navigate to red team. Now, the reason why red team is kind of, you won't really see entry level roles in red team is because you need to understand IT a lot when it comes to hacking. You need to understand the full fundamental, not just having a little concept about the fundamental. You need to understand the full fundamental when you want to hack. And if you can see here on the left hand side on the blue team chart, we have the threat intelligence. It is where we use open source intelligence tools online out there. You can
Please,
see
I'm sorry
data
for
loss.
cutting you in. I can't see anything. I can't see your slides, sir.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can see it. Maybe are you watching from your phone or from your laptop?
I'm watching from my phone.
Okay, you might have been on a different screen. If you swipe right or left, you might land on the screen that is sharing. If it's a laptop, you will certainly see it, I guarantee. Is any other person there that's not seeing it?
I'm sure it's because she's using her phone. That is why.
Yeah.
You can
So you
flex the
must be
other
on a
person.
screen that is not different from the one it's sharing. You can swipe left, right, look around, you'll find it.
Someone
Or
else
Yes, if
maybe
is
you're
kind of
experiencing,
working.
you can
if you're
drop and then
experiencing,
jump
Someone,
back.
exactly, exactly. I think that would work.
But then again,
Okay.
will this slide be available? Are you going to make this available to people?
Oh, yep, definitely. After the,
Okay.
I would send it across to Legacy Lab, and they will know to get it across to the attendees.
Okay.
Okay, so as I was saying, we have data loss prevention. Yes, you are protecting data. You are creating rules, like you don't want certain information to leave your network. You don't want certain, like, let me say the credit card now. If an employee is trying to send an information outside of the company's network, maybe via email. You're trying to send an information out, and in the data loss prevention rule, it says you can't send out credit card over via email, or you can't even download it. Once you try do that, it's going to block you out. You won't even be able to send it out to anybody via the network. And these are what the blue team guys does. This is what they do. Now, antivirus and EDR management. Now, while EDR is now replacing antivirus, well, we still kind of um, um, advise some clients to implement antivirus in their network infrastructure. Now, what is EDR? Endpoint detection response. Endpoint detection tools like the CrowdStrike, like the Silence, right? So these are tools that kind of like protect your endpoints, like your phones. Those are endpoints, mobile devices, right? So when there is a sign of a malware, or there is a sign of something wrong, or there's a sign of attack on endpoints, these endpoints alert and they also block these malicious activities. Now, same as somebody coming into the blue team environment, you need to understand security and event management. Now, this team is like a big eye that sees everything that is going on in your network, applications you are trying to log into, emails, your laptop, anything you can think about. The same is one important tool that, as a blue team person, you need to understand how it works. You need to be able to identify true positives, if it's an actual attack or if it's not an attack, things like that. That's what I mean by true positive, false positives, and benign activities basically. WAF, web application firewalls, incident handling. Yes, at a point in this role, you'll be responding to incidents because you'll be responding to email. Mostly, you'll be responding to email incidents because email attack is one of the most sophisticated threat out there for business email compromise for companies. A lot of and that is why what these Yahoo boys do. That is what most of them do. They just kind of like try to do something like man in the middle. They send you information, they send you links that once you click on that link, you are gone. I've seen a lot of links sent to me, from people that they would tell you to, okay, claim a federal government. Tinubu is sharing 50,000 naira, whatever. Click on this link, and you see a lot of people clicking on those links. And once they click on those links, those that have crypto applications on their phone, it's gone. It's gone. These threat actors would have access to your trust wallet. They would have access to your Binance account. They can easily wipe everything on those accounts. So at the point in this role, you will be responding to incidents. Now, firewall, network, VPN, malware analysis, you will be doing all these things. But trust me, I'll be sharing with you resources where you can have access to almost all of these things here for free. And that is why from those that I've kind of talked to directly, I advise them to start as a blue team because it's kind of easier and there are a lot of entry level roles in the blue team aspect of cybersecurity. Now, this is more like um, um, more detailed level of different cybersecurity domains. I made mention of the blue team earlier, and these guys here are part of the blue team, the security operations. And for the security operations, I made mention of the SIM. You'll be using SIM platforms. Yes, you'll be doing threat hunting. You'll be looking for active threats on, in your IT estate. You'll be doing vulnerability management. You'll be going through incident response. Now, incident response here is investigating, containing the situation. What would you do when something happened to when there is an attack, there's an active attack, probably there's a brute force attack. Somebody already have access, an attacker already have access to my information or a user's information. What would you do? That is containing the situation, making sure that that incident, you know, does not spread to other probably applications or laptops or systems within the network. So you make sure you kind of like contain this situation. Eradication means basically just removing the actual malware from the system, deleting the malware, making sure that there's no advanced persistence on the system. And if you look to the right here, you can see we have application security. Well, what would you be doing? What would you be doing within application security? You'll be doing API security. You'll be doing source code scan. Yes, this was one of my projects. I've done this before. Doing SAST, which is static application security testing. Because if you're a developer here, you must have out of application security testing, like the SAST, the DAST, and the SCA. So these are like we scanning for vulnerabilities in developers' code, right? Oh, this code could be vulnerable to SQL injection, right? So, and it's not like you are manually reviewing these code yourself. There are tools out there that you can use to do the scanning. And once you get a result from the tools that, okay, there is a vulnerability in the code, all you have to do is just kind of like return the code or kind of like send it back to the developer to correct the code or kind of like make their code more secure, basically. And you're done. You are now in an application security analyst. It's as simple as that. The main thing is having the understanding of these tools and how to make use of them. Okay, now the skills, which is very, very important because without skills, you won't be able to land a cybersecurity role. Now, the first thing you need to understand, the fundamental thing you need to understand is IT networking. As easy as understanding routers, understanding IP addressing, understanding WLAN, understanding VLAN, right? So those are the understanding OSI model from the physical layer to the application layer. Once you know all these things, and one thing is you can just go to Google right now and search for networking course, fundamental networking course. You will see a lot of courses out there. Within 1 hour, you're done. You have the basic understanding of networking, of IP, right? You have the basic understanding of routers. Now, another one is operating system, right? The most used operating system out there is Linux, Windows. Yes, we have Mac, but most organizations are more focused on Linux and Windows. If you know how to use these platforms, right? You know how to use these technologies like Linux, Windows, like a normal laptop. You already have the skills. If you know how to create files on your laptop, you already have the skills. The only thing is you have to tailor your IT skills to cybersecurity. That is it. Now, if you can also kind of like create folders via command prompt. Those are things you need to do. How to troubleshoot problems. Sometimes your Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi might not be working. How to kind of like go through the troubleshooting skills. Or you are trying to do something on your laptop, you don't know how to do it. Those are the basic things you need to have. You need to have the understanding of basic operating systems. And there are a lot of people out there that really do not even understand how to operate a laptop. So you have to know how to operate a laptop for you to land this role. Now, another one is data analysis slash visualization. Now, if you have Excel skills, trust me, you're already on the career path. Because in cyber security, you will be needing Excel a lot. By the time you start analyzing security logs or system logs, by the time you start downloading CSV file from Splunk, from these same platforms, because most of these guys, you can manually download those logs as Excel and analyze it on your system. So you will be using Excel a lot. If you can use Excel, you're already on you're already on the path to landing a cybersecurity role. Now, programming and scripting skills, which is the fourth skills you need. Um, skills like how to use command line on your system, how to use Python. You don't really need to know in depth on how to use Python. I'm not really good with Python. I'm not 100% good with Python. I'm not 50%. I just kind of understand basic things about Python. Once you know how to use Python, basically you are good to go. And one thing I also do want you to play with is SQL. See, if you know SQL, you are you are very, very close, because SQL is a very powerful language. For same platforms, you will be using SQL to create queries. You'll be using SQL to create playbooks. Now, what are playbooks? Playbooks are like, when an attack happens, it will automatically respond to those attacks. Okay, block the user, revoke the user logon section, enable MFA, send alert to so person in the organization. So those are playbooks, and you'll be using SQL. On Azure Sentinel, they call it KQL, Custom Query Language. Once you know SQL, you can write KQL. On Splunk, they call it SPL, Splunk. On Elastic too, once you know SQL, in fact, a lot of IT IT guys are using SQL. Data analysts are using SQL. I believe business analysts are using SQL. Data engineers are using SQL. Cybersecurity analysts are using SQL. So once you know SQL, you're already on the path. And one thing you also need to know is the fifth one here, which is the cloud security. Now, you might not really know cloud security, but you need to know cloud computing. You need to, because a lot of companies out there right now are migrating into the cloud. A lot of companies don't want to start building infrastructures. They just want to log. They want to have a central log in their laptop and have access to those resources online, right? So they want to have different resources online and have a central location like their laptop where they can now have access to those things. Just like your Google Drive, that is cloud itself. So if you know GCP, you know Azure, you know AWS, you don't really need to know the three. Once you know one, but I advise people coming into the IT field or people coming to cybersecurity to kind of know Azure more, because most of the job description I've seen a lot, they require, mostly Azure technological stack. And another one is IT service management, like your IT, knowing how to respond to customers, IR faces, basically incident response and threat detections, how to respond to incidents and how to detect this incident. I'll be fast now on my slides because I think our time is fast spent. We have about 15 minutes or thereabouts to go. Now, the next thing is your attitude. Now, your attitude is very, very important. Your critical thinking skills here, because you will be facing attack a lot. You'll be responding to cybersecurity incident a lot, and your attention to details. So one thing is you will be kind of like analyzing logs. You'll be analyzing codes. Okay, is this code vulnerable? Is this log like kind of like looking for indicator of compromise, IP address of where the attack is coming from, the email address of where the attack is coming from, the location of where the attack is coming from. And when an attack happens, you have to calm down and think, what do I need to do? Another thing is curiosity and continuous learning. Yes, in this space you have to continue to learn. You have to continue to learn. Technology evolves. A lot of things is happening. You have a lot of things is really going on. So you have to keep learning, network, and also maybe able to collaborate and work with your team as well. Then staying up to date. I've attended interviews where the interviewer would ask me, how do you stay up to date? Or tell me about the latest vulnerability, like the Log4j, Folina. Then I started telling them about latest vulnerability in cybersecurity, like Folina, where threat actors kind of craft payload using micro-enabled file to, and they send it via phishing attack vector. So you understand? So they would ask you these things like this in your interview. How do you stay up to date? Then you can now start telling them you listen to podcasts, you watch some guys on YouTube like the Josh Madako. I'll be sharing a lot of these guys very soon, and as well as cybersecurity awareness and training. Now, this is very important. This is very, very important, and I want you to really put your mind here. Now, these are the key cybersecurity tools that you need out there to start your journey. And trust me, everything I have right here, I'll be sharing you links where you can learn at least one or two tools from any of these domains here. Now, you need to understand network security. This is where you use Wireshark to kind of like analyze pickup files, right? Those that log in into, when you kind of like click on a link, HTTP, kind of like do some analysis basically. Now, vulnerability scanning and assessment tools. These are when you use tools to kind of like scan for vulnerabilities in web application. Penetration testing tools. While as a blue teamer, you really might not need this. Yes, you really might not, but having the basic understanding of these tools out there, like the Bob suit, like Kali Linux, knowing how to use Kali Linux itself is a penetration testing tools. Now, same tools, incident event management, web application security tools, virtualization tools, OSINT tools, firewall and IDS and IPS tools, and endpoint detection tools. Once you know the right tools you need to use to on any of these domains here, you can now tailor all these tools on your CV as technological stacks, as things that you are proficient in, and things as tools that you have used before. What you have to do is just go to YouTube, check how they use these tools out there, and once you watch 30-minute or 1 hour video, add it on your resume. You already know how to use it. Now, for the tools, I talked about SIM. Once you know how to, once you have the fundamental understanding of Splunk, you have the fundamental understanding of Azure Sentinel. So these tools here, most especially Splunk and Azure Sentinel, once you know how to use them, please just put it on your resume. Once you know what it's all about, what Splunk is all about. Yes, Splunk is a SIM tool that we use to kind of like analyze events, that kind of like shows us what is going on our IT estate, what is going on in our network infrastructures. That is what Splunk is used for. It also helps us to respond to incidents and also mitigate cybersecurity incidents. It's as simple as that. Put it on your resume, watch 30 to 1 hour video, and have the basic understanding. And the sweet thing is, once you land the job, any entry level role, they will train you on how to use these tools. You might not even be using any of these tools. They might have their own, in-house tool that they use for all these things. Another one is EDR, CrowdStrike, Silence, Microsoft Defender for endpoints. Once you know how to use these tools, not really everything, you just know how to use one, you are good to go. For email security, once you know how to use Inky, you know how to use Proofpoint. See, one thing is, I've attended one interview before, and um, the interviewer asked me, which email security tools have you used? I've not really used Inky, I've not used Proofpoint, and I've not used IronGuard as at then. And I told him, yes, I'm aware of Inky, I'm aware of Proofpoint. He said, oh, yes, fine, that's good. That is one of the, Proofpoint is one of the tools we use in our company, in our organization. So I'm really glad you know how to use it. Nobody will tell you, nobody will ask you to come and implement Proofpoint during interviews. Nobody will ask you to come and write KQL queries for SIM during interviews. No. Now, another one is vulnerability management. We have the Nexus tool, we have OpenVAS, we have Queries, we have Abuse IPD before since, we have CyberCheck. So these are the tools. If you know how to use virtual machine, you know how to use your virtual box, right? You can install Windows 10 on it. You can install Kali Linux. You already know how to use virtualization already. Because most of the analysis you'll be doing, you'll be doing most of those analysis on your laptop, in your main laptop. You'll be using a virtual environment, because you don't want to open a malware file and it will affect your main system. while analyzing, while trying to respond to incidents, you are also affecting yourself as an employee. So intrusion detection system, ticketing tools. Now let me walk you through the way I kind of introduce myself whenever they ask me to introduce myself during interviews, right? Whenever they ask me to introduce myself, I just kind of introduce myself. My name is so, 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 so. And while on the job, I have an opportunity to work on several projects. I have an opportunity to work on vulnerability management for some clients. That's vulnerability scanning. I have an opportunity to work on security and event management, where I kind of respond to cybersecurity incidents. I create playbooks, and I also validate if those alerts are true positive, if they are false positives, or they are benign activities. And part of what I've also done is I've also worked on EDR tools where we manage users' endpoints. And for technological stack, I've been able to use. Now I'm going to these tools here, the technological stack here. For SIEM, I've been able to use Azure Sentinel. For Splunk, for EDR, I've been able to use CrowdStrike. And for email protection, I've been able to use Proofpoint. And for vulnerability management, I've been able to use Nessus. And for some organizations that couldn't afford enterprise application like Nessus, I use open source intelligence tools for them, like OpenVAS. Then for email analysis, I use OSINT tools. I use IBDP. Once you start, telling these guys these tools, they already see you as a full stack. They already see you as a full stack. They already see you as somebody that is coming from IT background, somebody that has already used these tools. Now, my time is fast spent. I've got it. I have 8 minutes left. The next one is the cybersecurity portfolio. This is my portfolio out there. I have the link on the slide. You can always click on this link and it will take you to my portfolio. Now, the reason why you need portfolio is because once you start doing these home labs I'll be sharing with you, there is a need for you to have something to show for it. Okay, you've kind of worked on SOC projects, right? You've kind of worked on email analysis, right? How would you be able to convince interviewers that you've really done things like this? So you can kind of like have a portfolio where you have all these things. This is my GitHub portfolio. You can see I have my cybersecurity projects, I have DevSecOps projects, I have my SOC project here, I have Active Directory project. And once they click on all of these links, it will take them to where they can see the full project. I've attended interviews where I put my GitHub profile on my resume, and when the interviewer clicked on it, it was like, wow, it went through my project, everything I've done, and he asked me questions based on what I have on my GitHub profile. So you need a portfolio out there, most especially for people that are just coming into cybersecurity and really don't have experience. You need a portfolio. Create a portfolio that you can show that yes, I've been in this part and I've done a lot of things. And another thing is certification. Like I said, you really do not need certification to land this role. Why certification is also important? Because it's more like a key to getting interview invite. Because when you kind of have certifications, it shows you are proficient in this. But for entry level roles, you don't need certification to get this job. You really do not need certifications to get the job. And some of the certifications you can take is CompTIA Plus, you can take Network Plus, you can take Security Plus. For somebody that is just coming into IT, that really do not understand IT at all, please, I would advise you focus more on CompTIA Plus, because it will open your understanding on operating systems, troubleshooting basically, and also part of networking as well. So once you understand CompTIA and you are very proficient with CompTIA, a lot of people skip Network Plus and they just move straight to Sec Plus. You can do that as well. So these are like certifications that you can take, and after a while, after you have maybe experience 0 to 3 years experience, you can now start taking intermediate certifications to show that I've got experience in this part. This is just to show that I've been in this industry for a while. And also these are 6+ years certifications that you can take, and that is when you become a manager. That is cybersecurity information security manager. And then, yeah, this is the sweetest part: hands-on experience with no job. This is what I did, and this is how I learned cybersecurity. Now, your school will not teach you cybersecurity. Your master's in cybersecurity will not teach you cybersecurity. Your bachelor's degree in IT would not teach you cybersecurity. But doing hands-on labs, doing all these things here would teach you cybersecurity, would teach you, would give you the basic skills you need out there to land an entry level role. This guy right here, Josh Madako, he has portfolio building. Now, that my GitHub I showed you earlier, this GitHub I showed you earlier, I got the idea from his YouTube page, and I was able to make my own portfolio via his YouTube page. Now, he will also teach you interview prep, how to prepare for interview, and also labs that you can do. Just go to the playlist. Once you go to the guy's playlist, you'll see 5 home labs. Do those labs, have them on their CV. Most of his labs are on my GitHub as well. And once you start doing this lab, put them on your resume as projects that you've done. And this guy as well. This guy just finished a 30-day SOC analyst challenge for cybersecurity professionals for 30 days. You can go to his YouTube channel. You will see the video out there. You can also do the same thing. Everything he did on his YouTube channel for the 30 days SOC challenge. Do the same thing. Apply the same concept. Install the application he installed, and make sure you have the process screenshot and post it on your GitHub profile. That is how you would show employers that, yeah, I've really got experience and I have experience in these aspects. Now, for SIM, if you really want to understand SIM, you need to visit this link for Hackersploit. For those that are looking at offensive side of cybersecurity, that like the red teamer, the ethical hacker, you really want to understand how hackers think, then you can visit this Hackersploit. Now, if you want to do free certifications online, this is ISC2 and is being recognized worldwide. You can just click on this link. It will take you down to where you can, do the training and also do certification for IC2 exam. Now, for basic security plus, for basic learning of A plus, IT itself, visit Professor Mesa. And for cloud computing, yes, for those that want to learn Azure, remember I said back then, even for those that are going into non-technical parts of cybersecurity like the GRC, you still need to understand cloud computing. And also ServiceNow ticketing system. Now, Free Code Camp, these guys, you will see a lot of free resources. And most importantly, internship is very, very important. Internship is very, very important. Go to LinkedIn, search for Cyblack. They do internship every three months. So after 3 months, they start another sprint. So I think one is ongoing right now. I'm also one of the mentor and the admin of Cyblack. You can reach out to me, and I would always notify you when we have another internship opportunity coming up. So we have another one coming up by January. So it's like January to March. Then after March, we'll start another one every three months. Please don't joke with internship. Another one is Cyber Secure India. It's very, very easy to get space with Cyber Secure India. Just visit their what is it called, their LinkedIn, and you will get internship opportunity with them as well. Now, this is a chart created by Josh Madako. It's just kind of like to show you what you really need out there to land, to get an interview. Without interview, you cannot land the job, right? So these are the things you need to do to get to this stage. Now, for some, it could be social networking, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, and they can refer you. Then straight up, you get an interview opportunity. Now, for those that really do not, probably you're not getting opportunity via social network. These are the things you need to do. Number one, education. You have your bachelor's degree, or you have your first degree, basically. Now, if you don't have first degree in science, IT related courses, you can then now start doing portfolio, start creating your portfolio. Do home labs from those links I sent to you. Do home labs, start creating your portfolio, your GitHub portfolio, and also do certifications. Now, another important thing is your resume quality. I've seen people that are very good, and when I talk to them, sometimes when I review their CV has a lot of flaws. They are not putting a lot of things on their CV that would give them opportunity or that would make sure they get to this stage, which is getting an interview. One thing is your resume quality. Now, a platform I recommend, I'm not sure it's on this slide, but we can write it down, is resume.com. Go to resume.com and use resume.com to create your CV. It's kind of ATS compliance. It means, it will kind of like help you scan through and help you get your interview right in front of the recruiter. So these are the things you can actually do. And once you get an interview, how to pass the interview is another thing. And that is where those labs comes into play, the interview skills, technical ability, your self-presentation as well. And now I promise that for those that really do not have IT experience at all, or those that really do not have IT experience, IT newbies and non-IT professionals, you can one thing I would advise is every expert was once a beginner, right? And the key to mastering any field is to start with the basics, build a solid foundation, and most importantly, never stop learning. So understand the basics of technology. Understand how to use your laptop. Understand CompTIA A plus. Go and take courses on CompTIA A plus online. It's free. Once you know how to use all those, operating systems, you are good to go. Gain practical IT experience. Now, you might not land a role in IT in cybersecurity. You can look for entry level IT positions like data entry, help desk. Once you land any role in help desk support, IT service desk, you are already on the path to cybersecurity, because these are like the foundations to what you really need to get out there. Remember the meme I shared with you earlier, somebody trying to move to the next step without understanding the fundamental. So you can just try to look out for IT support roles and also identify your area of interest. It's very, very important. Then self-learning is very, very crucial as well. And for those that are already IT, that have IT related experience, you're already into IT support, you're already into IT service desk analyst, right? One thing you need to understand is cyber kill chain, how to respond to cybersecurity incidents, how attackers things, take it, knowing, how to, kind of know like knowing about the stages of cyber attack from reconnaissance to action and objective. Now, understanding military attack framework, IR, I've said this before, and also familiarizing yourself with IT infrastructures, tools, and technology used to prevent, mitigate, and eradicate your cyber threat and risk. So these are the EDR tools I made mention of before, the same platforms tools, the service now tools like ticketing tools, vulnerability scanner like the Nesors, the OpenVAS, email protection tools, and all these things are online. You can learn them for free from the link I shared earlier. And you can also go to YouTube yourself, search for any of those tools, how to use Proofpoint, how to use Nexus for vulnerability scanning. You will see tons of videos online. And also familiarize yourself with network traffic and log analysis tools like the Wireshark, basically. So now I so navigating the job market, I've already talked about it in the chat I shared with you earlier, like tailoring your resume and cover letter, target entry level roles, basically interview tips, go online, reach out to people, reach out to those that are already in that field, and also find a mentor. And most importantly, during your interview, showcase passion and willing to learn. That yes, I'm willing to learn, even though I really do not have much experience. I'm willing to, I'm willing to learn, right? And I have passion for for cybersecurity. Now, below I shared a god tier resume here. Once you click on this link, it will take you to a resume template that you can use to tailor your cybersecurity CV. And yeah, thank you very much. I would just want to share something with you. Um, Before I kind of like get more proficient in all of these, this was what I did. I listed all these domains: vulnerability management, endpoint. I listed OSINT, I listed IDS and IPS. Then I now listed all these tools that are related to those domains, like same platforms. I listed all these tools, then I started learning them one by one. Okay, what is proof points? I checked out Google, what is Inky? vulnerability management, how to use tenable networks. You'll see videos. Once you have this, I would also share this with Legacy Lab so you can kind of tailor it to what you are looking for. And then I listed all the job roles that are related to all the things I've listed here: cybersecurity analyst, SOC analyst, security operation analyst, blue team, information security analyst, and boom, you are good to go. This is the resume. This is my own CV. And let me just show you something. Let me show you something now. Okay, yeah, this is technological stacks plus application. Now, these are the tools I made mention of. Inky, you can see, anti-phishing protection, CyberCheck for data decoding, Azure Sentinel, same. Once you have all these tools on your CV, you can easily, I repeat, easily land this role. So, and the sky is the starting point. Thank you very much for having me. And any question? I think you are 6 minutes, 6 minutes late here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Olajide. That was highly insightful. And okay, we have some questions in the comment section. How can we get paid internships? Any links to any pool? There's also another
Okay,
one.
okay.
Kindly share the site for free courses and internship opportunities.
Very cool on internship
Recorded on
opportunities.
internship
Okay,
opportunities.
okay. So
So,
for paid internships,
for
where you
paid
can get paid
internships, where you
internship,
can get paid internship,
check out
check out.
um sorry, I
Um,
kind of echo.
sorry, I kind of echo.
Your voice is
Check,
echoing.
My
check
voice
out
is echoing. Check
10,000
out
interns
10,000 interns
on LinkedIn or just
on
Google
LinkedIn or
10,000
just Google
interns.
10,000 interns.
Those guys
Those
are
guys are
the like they would once you apply, you kind of like tailor your applications to different sectors. Maybe you want to go into the legal part of cybersecurity, you want to go into technological stack of cybersecurity. You'll see it on their platforms, right? So once you go to 10,000 interns, they have opportunities for paid internships, and you can easily land a full-time role from there. And the internship is more focused for black people basically. So you can check it out. Please share the site for free courses and internship opportunities. Yeah, I share the site on the slide. Is on the slide. It's you'll see free code camp and you see other YouTube links that are shared on the slides. I'll share the slides with you after this um, um, webinar. Any other question?
I think Mr. Sonny is raising his hand. Sir, please, you have question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Uh, I would like to ask the speakers, imagine someone coming from non-tech background and you want to like venture into cybersecurity. What would be your advice, your first advice to the person? What topic, which course you advise the person to take on before you even think of any other thing? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Mr. Sani. Now, like I said earlier, and that is one of the things I said on the last slide, right? For someone that really do not have idea or you don't really have experience in IT and you want to jump into cybersecurity, you need to understand the fundamentals first, and that is understanding operating system, troubleshooting, and networking. Now, you need to kind of like take CompTIA A plus. If you go to Professor Messa's page on YouTube, there's a on his just go to his playlist and search for CompTIA A plus. Now, CompTIA A plus would introduce you to IT. It will introduce you to command line, how to use command line, to kind of create files, how to use command line for permissions. Now, it will kind of like brush your terminal skills. Then it will also make you understand operating system and how the operating system work and how to troubleshoot as well as networking too. So just try to visit his YouTube page, Professor Mesa. Check his CompTIA A plus training. Now there is A plus training for certification, and there is A plus training study group. So after doing those training, You are good to go. You already have the understanding of, yeah, IT. Now, it's now left for you to tailor those IT fundamentals to cybersecurity. And once you have the understanding of those fundamentals I made mention of, you can now determine where you want to focus on in cybersecurity. Am I focusing on cloud security? Am I focusing on offensive security or the blue side of cybersecurity? Please, can you spell the name of the professor? So, Professor Messer, Messer. Any other question, please? You're
Question.
welcome, Precious. You're welcome, Precious.
You can go ahead, Mr.
Okay.
Ahmed.
Do you train people? It's easy to say go on YouTube, go on this, go on that. Taking trainings like that is one thing. Having a coach is another thing. Do you train people?
Okay. While for now, we're not really training people at hybrids. We are kind of like organization focused, right? So, but what I would advise is, if you really want to get into the space, I would advise you apply for internships. I can help you get internship space at Cyblack, kind of help you talk to the management of Cyblack, so you and also get you prepared for, because definitely you'll be doing interviews, right? So I'll also get you prepared for Cyblack internship as well, so that you'll be able to have access to get into the system. So right now I am not training people, but I can definitely mentor you. I can guide you through, just put you through the path, what you need to do. And if you are willing to learn, then maybe I can now bring you in and train you fully. So what I do right now is just kind of mentor and guide you on how to. Okay, how can we reach out to you, sir? Okay. Um, I have my email on the slide. You can reach out to me via my email address or via LinkedIn. I'm always active on LinkedIn. You can kind of just search for my LinkedIn page is on my LinkedIn link is on the slide. I believe Legacy Lab would share it with you. Any other question?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. I believe there is no other question. And if you want to get every resources of today's series, ensure to fill in the feedback form. The link is in the comment section. Once you fill the feedback survey, you'll surely get the resources from the series, the slides and everything. You're going to get it from there. And also, you can also follow us on our social media handles to get more updates on the series and other stuff that are coming up. Once again, I would like to say thank you very much to our speakers, to the audience. Thank you very much to Legacy Lab. God bless you for organizing this series. To our amazing partners out of Italy, Africa, Google Developers Student Club, and Mr. Omosonchua Joseph. Who among us was around for Mr. Omosonchua's series on this platform? Like, seriously, he's also a cybersecurity personnel, and no, you can also check him out on LinkedIn for your cybersecurity um skills or mentorship. And he also has a discount for a particular certificate for cybersecurity. So I think it's CompTIA or something. I can't really remember. He also has such discount for you to write a particular exam, a very, very special exam for you cybersecurity guys. I'm not into cybersecurity, sorry about that. So you can also link up with him, connect with him on LinkedIn. He also responds very, very well on LinkedIn. Thank you all for attending. Have a wonderful night rest. See you all next month, last Saturday. Good night.